Yes.
It might be my computer. I gotta check and see if it's like a block or something. I'm glad I downloaded on both.
Me too. I was like, well, I'm running out of solutions.
Well, when you said you tried it on your friend, I was like, wait a minute.
I was like texting my friend, I'm like, I need you to download Skype right now on your phone. What's up, guys? Amanda Smith here with the Cleveland Cavaliers sideline reporter Angel Gray. Thank you for making time for me. Thank your friends for me for helping you figure out Skype. I'll thank you for helping me figure out Skype, and we're in business now.
Absolutely. This is fun. I definitely needed this to, really tap into my social a little bit more. Skype is, I needed to brush up on that a little bit.
They say, like, they should just sponsor me now. I'm bringing it back. On that call.
I'll be your reference for sure.
So this is your first year working with the Cavaliers, but your 8th year working in this industry. So what are some of the takeaways from your previous jobs that you can now use in this new role in the NBA?
Well, this is completely different than any role that I've ever done, just because my first couple of years I was doing women's basketball, college basketball, and it was as an analyst. So this recent summer I was in LA working play by play. So that was even different in itself, but you get maybe 30, 40 games that you're calling. You don't have any ties to the team necessarily. So whoever loses or whoever wins, you're like, congratulations or whatnot. Then you move on about your day. So in the NBA, this is an 82 game season. You're traveling with the team. You're, understanding the different cities and the grind of travel and, just meeting different teams and their sideline reporters and their PR. And you just really have to stay on your toes because now everybody can see you and the audience is larger. So it's definitely been an adjustment. No day is the same, but it's been a lot of fun to understand how important it is for a family to help you, especially in your first year with NBA.
Do you think that having that play-by-play experience has kind of helped you in this sideline role?
In a way, because it's so different. It's
Mm-hmm.
completely different because what I was told was I'm the Stockton and someone else is the Malone. So I'm teeing up someone else to
Let's
give
go
their
Jazz.
piece. So you're literally teeing up someone else to give their opinion, to give their stories, and to tap into, their knowledge of the game. That's something that I used to do as an analyst, and I'll have some opportunities this season to still work with college basketball as an analyst. So it's going to be different. The play-by-play was fun to me because they understood my analyst role.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted me to tell the stories and, bounce off the ideas and, the storylines with the other analysts. As far as your question as it applying to sideline, is so completely different because play-by-play, I can talk for the entire game almost, and sideline you have 15, max 20 seconds if it's a great story to deliver and be sharp and concise. So you just have to make sure you own those seconds and you roll with it and just make sure that the stories, even if you're giving the meat of it and then the analyst and play-by-play build on it from there, that's your job.
You mentioned your time working in the women's game, and Adidas just came out with this whole new campaign to support female athletes. Having that experience in that aspect of the game and being a college athlete yourself, where do you see the opportunity to break down those sort of barriers?
I think that's so important. That's something that I definitely look at, supporting other like lines, Adidas for them to do that. And I have friends that are sponsored or Adidas athletes with Candace Parker in LA, and then Chinea Gumake, and also her sister Nneka Gumake, who plays in LA as well. Those are women that are not only breaking, barriers, but they're also using their voice as far as the platform that they're given, and just being on the board for women's basketball period, for demanding more of what they want and the expectations that people, I think with them, they just want people to understand that basketball is basketball, but they want the equality in it, and for them to use their voice and not to shy away from the tough conversations. I admire everything about what they're doing, and for Adidas to, really support them in that, I'll definitely be buying some Adidas stuff this, maybe this week.
I'll say Angel said that I should go buy Adidas, so this is how I'm going to justify myself.
Right.
Let's play a quick little game.
Okay.
Because I've already I'm going to let everyone know I've already taken up like 20 extra minutes of Angel's time.
It's quite all right. At the end of the day, it was my fault. Let's just put that out there.
Well, actually, you're right. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So, this is called Here For It or Make It Stop. The Cavs singing Jingle Bells.
Here for it.
Oh, the earned edition jerseys that are coming out.
Here for it. Like I need one.
Okay, let's get you one. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Oh. Delhi diving into the broadcast table versus the Bucks.
Oh, guys. Can I like say I'm here for it, but make it stop? Okay, I'll give you my reason. Here for it because he is the hardest working defender I have seen. The way he sacrificed his body, it was everything. But he took my friend Fred McLeod out. I was so sad.
So make it stop.
For the sake of the Cavs, I'm here for it.
Yeah. What about jersey exchanges?
I'm here for it to an extent because in the women's game, the budget or whatever you want to say is not there for them to do the same, to be an influence or to give their jerseys to fans. So it's almost a slap in the face that they aren't rewarded the same luxuries as the men are.
I have a picture. Twitter posts like these, like this one. Can you see that?
Got it.
Here for it or make it stop?
Make it stop. Even though it is the deli sandwich. Very creative, very cool, but no.
So we had some great fan questions for you. So I want to as many as possible. Connor McGill says, what has been one of the most challenging things in your career this far?
I think that's a tough question because I think in anything that you really, really want to do, it's like pushing through and understanding that your time will come. I think a lot of young journalists want it right away and they think you get the big job right away, but there's so many things that you have to do before, the big break. I was working games in California for $30, and I was happy with doing that. I had about 4 different jobs, just to sustain, but you just have to make sure that you have a mindset of I am going to be able to do what I want to do in the future and I'm going to have to go through the process. So I think that's the toughest thing to realize, but the most rewarding in the end.
Do you look back at some of those moments now and maybe think like, I thought that maybe this door should open, but I wasn't ready?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If I do have time to share that, I remember around that same time, I was out in LA and I never did a game as an analyst. I was doing radio at the time and I did some talent work for shows as a reporter. So ESPN called and they said, hey, one of our analysts is out. We know that you're, in the business, send us your reel. And I'm like, I have no reel. But they were like, there are 2 ESPN games that we'd want you on. And as much as I wanted to do it, I just wasn't ready. And so the fact that they reached out to me, that gave me motive, that gave me an inspiration to say, keep going, keep plugging away. And literally with me telling them, look, I don't have it right now. And they were like, okay, well, we'll have to go to someone else. I think the next week and a half, I got a phone call to do my first game as an analyst. And I got an opportunity to do a game with ESPN 2 weeks after that. So it's literally just always being prepared. And the timing of everything, I'd love to say, get ready so you don't, or stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But at the end of the day, those opportunities have to come in order for you to build reps because it's so different with saying I can do it and saying I've done it. So I'm just glad that I didn't make a fool of myself on national television first and I was able to work my way up.
So on the contrary, NM Photography says, what's the best part about this career?
I'm not working.
Right.
If that makes any sense. It's not a job. It's something where I wake up every day and I'm like, this is cool. Like I'm so excited to go to practice. I'm so excited to talk to the players and our reporters, our analysts, our play-by-play. We're family, our producers. Getting to know the guys and build that rapport and respect of one another. I think you can't compare it to anything else. And I'm so fortunate to be in a business where I can do NBA, college basketball, and WNBA, and build that family of people in sports.
I know. Like I sit there sometimes at games and I'm just like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to be here.
Right. I'm talking about Tristan Thompson in his 16th double double, or I'm talking about Delhi flying into, the producer, the reporters and whatnot, or Giannis scoring 41 points. Like, I think I'm humbled by it because it was a lot of hard work that went into it. It's exciting.
I think that this is a really good question, though, because everyone is human. And so Steph Mard says, on days that are stressful and can be hard, what is something that reminds you why you love your job?
My family and my faith. Uh, Anytime that I'm feeling uneasy, one of my best friends is my grandma. Like, I just feel like she's so wise and sharp and understands what I need to hear at the right time. My dad, even if I have a bad day on the camera, he's like, "Hey, anytime you're talking, just know you're talking to me on the other side of the lens." Little things like that, or my mom praying for me, or my brothers and sisters, "Hey, we're watching the game. Good luck. Best of luck with everything." Um, those little things, and taking some time for me, like just quiet, no TV, headspace. I use that a lot. Just really connecting with and understanding for myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, the work that I put in, and understanding that I'm not going to be perfect every night. And I don't think anybody is.
Right.
So at the end of the day, just knowing I put everything that I could into it and to build on it. There's always another day.
CJ Harden 79 says, who are some of your favorite reporters?
Oh my gosh. First off, I have to talk about my mentors. Because they're not just reporters that I look to. I think that it's misconstrued that women can't work together or can't support one another. That's crazy. I have been supported and have worked with some amazing women. LaChina Robinson, who works with ESPN, is huge. Tiffany Green, one of my mentors, we actually have the same agent. She's amazing. I called my first ESPN2 game with her. Doris Burke has been a person that I never thought that I would, talk to before a game, and her break down my film and tell me what I need to do better. But she is the GOAT. Rachel Nichols and her cadence and her pace with everything and her delivery. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And I'll take it even to the other side of, I love the fact that Carrie Champion, she owns it. She's just classy and does what she wants. And like, she's breaking so many barriers. She knows her brand. Jamel Hill and her voice and what she brings to the table and her authenticity. I can go down the line. And I don't want to just say some of my female reporters, there are males too. And I think that's important for us to realize too. It's so good. It's beneficial for us to have male mentors as well. So the list can go on and on and on, but I'm fortunate to have some great people in my corner.
Final question. Swashbucklers says, what would be one thing you would tell your 10-year-old self?
Oh, stop beating up my brother. I don't know.
He would probably appreciate that.
He would. He really would. My 10-year-old self is stay the course, trust the process. There have been times where I've said, "Oh my God, this is really hard. Like, is this for me?" But then there's always that snapback of whose you are and who you are, and you've put so much work into this, and you're gonna do it. Being an athlete, you have a goal, you set a goal, you go after it, and then if you meet it, you get another goal. And so I think in life, that's always been me. I mean, from as far back as I can remember, and 10 years old, I wanted to be the fastest, I wanted to be the best in everything. So just continue to just stay the course and trust the process.
I totally relate to that because I feel like that athlete in me is still there in moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? Or dang, this is gonna be hard. But I'm like, since when has that ever been like something that's gonna make you stop?
No. Just
like,
because you're not on a team doesn't mean that it stops.
Right.
Like, just because I'm not playing right now doesn't mean that I'm not an athlete or you're not an athlete. That doesn't make sense. It's that what's instilled in us to perform, to be competitive, to go after what we want in everything we do, not just on the court, field, whatever.
Right.
It's be competitive in everything we do.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, I want that spot. How do I work to get there?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Love it. And I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so maybe I got this from Target. I spend way too much money in there.
Target too.
I spend way too much money in Target. But Just affirmations every day. I have them all over my wall and everything like that. So I find when I wear this, a lot of people smile.
I noticed it, but I didn't want to like share it mid-combo.
Share it on side.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for taking time for me today. It was so nice to get to know you.
Nice to get to know you as
In
well.
person.
Oh, we have to. Like, we have to make this happen.
It's got to be a thing.
Cool.
Yes, deal. I'm very excited about it. All right, guys. For Angel Gray, I'm Amanda Smith. We'll see you next time.